Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's time for Blocktalk. Without further ado,
Yay!
first off, we just got to make a quick word for our sponsors. We have Coinigy. They're a wonderful platform, very similar to TradingView, but with many more tools for all of your altcoin needs, which we're very thankful to them. So sign up today at coinigy.com/blocktalk and refer us because it helps us out a lot. All right, and our next sponsor, The Rational Investor. I'm currently doing Brian's course, and yeah, I'll have a little review for that in the coming month here.
Wicked.
And then we also have Jumbucks, the coolest altcoin around. These guys are wonderful. They're just such big fans of the show, and I really can't stress how much they mean to us as fans.
Well, we've been playing with that Bitcoin Wisdom thing, a jump box thing.
Yeah, the Coin Markets coin site. They got a 2x2 coin. Bitcoin Wisdom chart. So yeah, check that out.
It's super fancy, actually.
So we're on Bitcoin block 381338, and let's, I guess, start introducing our guests.
Yeah.
All right, let me get out of screen share.
Bye, screen share.
Stop that. It's not going. Oh, I'm pointing at my screen. Okay. Hi everyone. We're good. So yes, we have
Alex is good.
Yeah, we're good. We have a couple members from the Syscoin team, if I'm pronouncing that right. So first off, let's hear from Dan.
Yeah, so my name is Dan, and I am the lead/manager of the Syscoin team. My primary job is kind of helping to design features, plan the roadmap, make sure everybody stays on course, and then kind of really look forward to things beyond just Syscoin and figure out how we can take our general interest. We all have just general interests in how decentralized technology can be used for a series of different real-world applications. And some of those applications go obviously outside of Syscoin. That's why we're looking into things like dApps. And my interest is basically just seeing how we can take that further. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dan, are you from San Francisco, or did you grow up somewhere else?
I'm actually from Maryland.
Nice.
I'm from Maryland, and I currently still live in Maryland. I spent some time in New York when I was up at school. Rochester Institute of Technology, if anybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of guys, not many girls.
Yeah, it's a tough life.
Yeah, tough life.
So let's introduce, I guess, your other member of the team here, Sebastian.
Hey guys. Yeah, my name is Sebastian DiMichele. I'm PR manager for Syscoin, so I take care of a lot of the media connections and a lot of general, community communication and management, and as well as, I'm probably one of the less technical in a sense of developers, because I'm not a developer, but I am relatively technical in understanding. So I'm sort of a bridge between the community and the developers, where they can sort of understand each other, because there is a big gap, unfortunately, as far as understanding of in-depth communication of technology. Most things are just not understandable for the common man, and so I'm sort of that bridge, as well as I've been invested in this project with the team for almost like 2 years now, and yeah, so we're happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're right there with you, trying to bring crypto to the common man and make it more interesting and easy to use. At least doing cool things like this and trying to get the word out. So let's hear from your last team member. I only know him as Jag, but I guess he's a Vancouverite.
Yeah, for some reason I think I'm lagging, so I had to turn my video off because I can't see anyone else unless I turn my camera off.
Jag, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Is Jag short for Jaguar?
Sometimes it depends on how I feel that day. Today I'm feeling pretty good. Well, talking to you guys, how can you not feel good, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've been interested in Bitcoin since around 2013. I went to BCIT. I graduated around about 12, 13 years ago, and I've been working in the field, Vancouver and Burnaby mostly, and I dabbled in different markets, equities and forex, and I I was referred to Bitcoin from a coworker who saw that I was into forex, and he said, if you want something more volatile, check out this new currency. And so I checked it out and I got hooked. It kind of fit me like a glove from a philosophical point of view, because I understood how markets work and how manipulated they are, and what needs to change and how bad that change needs to come. So I kind of started dabbling around in the code, and Syscoin caught my eye because we wanted to do a decentralized marketplace, which is badly needed, as well as certificates and other things that just, they're common use cases that I think fit many applications in the real world that other people haven't seemed to got to yet. So I think there's a place for it, and going forward, looking ahead to Ethereum, I think it's we're not only positioned to be experts in the marketplace field, but we can leverage that knowledge and bring it to Ethereum and develop apps a lot easier and faster, and see results a lot faster as well. But we're focused right now on the one we have right now, which is the Bitcoin-based blockchain clone, which is called Syscoin. And we're trying to make that as good as we can and make it usable. I think we have a demo for that. I think Dan's going to demo that for you guys, so you guys can check that out while we still fix some of the bugs that are left over. But I think it's almost ready for release. So I've been in the Bitcoin world for a couple years, and I look forward to meeting more people and more of you guys. I understand it's a very vibrant community here in Vancouver, because I think a lot of the mining happens here, cheaper electricity, right?
Yep.
But I look forward to meeting more people, and I think that it's not only people think the price is reflecting how Bitcoin is not growing, but I see growth everywhere, and I expect exponential growth the next couple of years. Not only price, but in terms of different uses, and the fact that it's catching on in the banking world and the financial world in general.
Very good. So yeah, I guess you guys have some new developments that you want to show us today, or you want to release to the public.
Nice.
Yeah, we're all very excited to hear more.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. Sorry, I'm kind of course, Jag in his typical fashion is just pushed a bunch of commits today to the repository, and I've because of it we had to restart Syscoin has 3 different networks. It has its main network, which is the main network. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then we've got the test network, which is actually the traditional test network from Bitcoin. It's got a few different parameters than the main network that Bitcoin has, but for the most part, it's the same. So you can test kind of one-to-one. And on CakeNet, which is a special network that we created for Syscoin, it allows for faster mining and a few other kind of developer niceties, I guess you could consider them, so that we can debug and test things faster than what it would be on a traditional testnet. So I've had to reset the entire CakeNet just like in the last 10 minutes to get this up and running and get it going with 2 wallets. And I'm at the point where I'm there. I'm just setting up a few more entities, and I'll be able to demo this. Now, I plan on demoing it through through the Hangout screen share. But the one thing that you guys will have to tell me about when you can see the screen share is how clear it is when it comes to screen share, since it's the resolution may start to become an issue.
Well, your resolution looks great right now.
Yeah.
We were commenting on your nice hair earlier.
Yeah, you got some good bandwidth, man.
Yeah, we got good bandwidth.
Yeah, out here in Maryland, we got some good bandwidth.
Yeah, dude, you're like got some fat bandwidth.
All right. Well, yeah, if you're not quite ready at the moment, I can just highlight the chart here quickly. I'm not sure what the first exchange you guys were on, but Bittrex has some history all the way back to like August of last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you guys are old by crypto standards.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Still around there. Look at us. We're still alive and kicking. We even have a huge release coming, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, we have this transition into to dApps and stuff, and that's largely to make sure that we evolve with how decentralized, you know, tech implementations are evolving. I think if you, I know there are some projects that are still, I don't know, I don't want to like come across in the wrong way or anything, but a lot of projects that are still focusing on the current Bitcoin core and how to really expand upon that to do things like smart contracts and other features. Like, you know, I think Factom is one of them, and I think Factom's a promising project, but compared to Ethereum, which allows you to actually execute Turing-complete contracts on the blockchain, I think that's really the direction that things need to move. And seeing things moving that way and knowing the goals that we initially set out to accomplish with Syscoin, you know, we were kind of trying to twist the Bitcoin core to do things that it wasn't intended to do. I mean, even right now in the Shade release, and, you know, Jag, please correct me if any of this is, you know, wrong, or you can add some more technical clarity to it. We almost have a set of hard-coded smart contracts in the new Shade Syscoin core that allow us to do things like handle concurrency issues when, say, two purchases are executed at the same time, and one of those purchases have to win, but they're both in the same block. And so what happens to ensure that the buyer who doesn't win gets their money back, and the seller just doesn't get paid twice and only have to ship once. Those types of things are actually addressed through, we tried a few different approaches, but in the end we ended up using basically a form of hard-coded smart contract. And so when Ethereum comes along and gives you that natively as part of its network, and you don't have the overhead of managing a network itself. Managing a network itself, just like forks and all the pool operators and all those types of you know, facets that go into being part of a CryptoCoin team, that takes a lot of time. And to instead spend that time on actually developing, debugging, and creating the best experience around a decentralized application, be it built on top of Syscoin, since we still plan to provide integrations into Syscoin as we move forward with dApp development, or on top of an actual dApp on Ethereum, I think that's the better way to go, because we spend so much time just on network maintenance. The hard fork coming up with the SysShade release is already taking a lot of time to reach out to all the pools, coordinate. We got to have a hard release date set. We have to coordinate with the exchanges and pools in conjunction to make sure that millions of sys aren't lost in the cutover. So, you know, there's a lot of benefits to be had from moving to dApps on Ethereum if they can provide us with all the functionality that we're looking to implement in a decentralized fashion.
Okay, so what exactly is Shade? Like, you guys are talking about doing a decentralized kind of marketplace within your wallet. So this isn't like a Silk Road or Open Bazaar type marketplace. This is like more the Next or SuperNet marketplace?
I don't know, Jag, you wanna?
It's intended to be a general purpose marketplace. The only real feature that's missing as it stands is Escrow, trustless Escrow, which is something we kind of strive to have, but we figured that Ethereum provided that pretty much natively, and so we kind of left it out, but it competes kind of directly with all of those different types. Next has free market, but it has its own issues. The fees are really high, and it doesn't provide certain features that we have. While OpenBazaar kind of builds on top of Bitcoin, but it's fully P2P, and it's not on blockchain, although they store the contracts on blockchain. They have their own mechanism for escrow as well, which deals with arbiters. Well, we figured that there's cross-cutting concerns with all these different features. We came to design decisions that we came up with. So it's just a different implementation, but one that we offer right inside of our QT wallet, and then easily we can extend by creating web wallets, which will support the API, which is what we're kind of working on, and then be able to kind of work with any or independent platform. So, for example, if we work off of what we learned with Syscoin, we can kind of make an Ethereum dApp and then have a web UI similar to OpenBazaar, but it will work with both platforms, Syscoin and our Ethereum dApp. So it's independent. At the API architecture level, it doesn't really matter as long as they're following guidelines, and the platform itself is independent. So the next logical step is to create the middle tier of our application layer, which will allow us to have rich front-end design, but independent of the back-end. So we can, if say Ethereum's consensus protocol doesn't work out, or say there's a bug in Turing complete code, which very likely could be, we can always fall back onto what we have on Syscoin, and kind of leverage that, and so we don't have a one-way street. It's kind of like a backup plan in case something goes wrong. We can always go back, and there's nothing wrong with the Bitcoin-based implementation we did. It's just not as flexible for future services. Should we say want to come up with new services that we can easily do on Ethereum? So either way, it's competing directly with most of the other decentralized marketplaces, but I feel that we made a lot of design decisions that led to more flexible architecture that lets us do more things than the other ones could. And I'll link in a blog post on a comparison of all the major decentralized marketplaces and how all the different features that we have compared to the other ones, and you guys can kind of see that there's each one has benefits, pros and cons, and Syscoin obviously has its pros and cons as well, but I kind of wrote it from their perspective that Syscoin kind of nails most of the major features. The only one missing obviously is Escrow, but most of the other major features are in Syscoin, which are not in all of the other implementations. So that's pretty much the essence of what we're doing there with the decentralized marketplace.
Okay. So I'm just looking at the stats here on the website Chains or Cryptoid, and it looks like you guys got about 33 wallets running. So maybe I guess 10 of those or 15 of those are other users. So like, what's this? How come you guys aren't just like maybe building a better Bitcoin wallet with Ethereum? And you're like, what's the benefit of using Sys over any other currency or even like the main one?
When you say 33 wallets running, what are you referring to? The nodes from the?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. There's about 33 nodes going up right now, running your client. So it's just really hard to see, I guess. Why are you doing wallet development if there are so few wallets being used right now?
I mean, I think the number of wallets that you see on the blockchain, the Block Explorer, I'm sorry, wouldn't that largely be related to the to mining pools? If you have a mining pool generating a large amount of your blocks, wouldn't that be one wallet that is generating a lot of transactions, as far as blocks, but is not actually?
That's what I mean. Like changes and mining, like you guys, the devs, will be running some like seed pools, some nodes. So there really isn't that many, I guess, individual users using the wallet right now. Like, So I guess what more incentive is there with the new wallet?
To use it and run it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So there is actually a functioning marketplace implementation right now in the wallet that is on the mainnet. Unfortunately, I say functioning and not usable in my opinion. It's not really usable because when you create something like, there are a number of services included in it, like the decentralized marketplace feature and also an aliases feature. And when you purchase these services, not only are they very expensive, especially compared to the competition, but they expire quickly. So if you buy something like an alias, which is the equivalent of, a domain on the blockchain, it currently expires in less than 2 months. And an offer expires in less than 2 weeks. And if you want to try to renew that, such as to keep it, alive for longer so others can still continue to purchase it, there's no meaningful mechanism to even do that. Additionally, all of the offers today in the marketplace must be priced in Sys. And so if you're a legitimate merchant who's trying to sell something, you want to sell it in something that's the equivalent of, usually a Bitcoin payment or a fiat payment in some fiat currency. And so a lot of those problems, I guess you could call them, are addressed in Shade. You'll actually be able to sell items for $5 USD, and when that item is purchased, the $5 USD will be multiplied times quantity, and then using the new price pegging feature that's included in the Shade wallet, you'll get the appropriate amount of Syscoin so that you get $5 worth of Syscoin based on market rates at the moment of the purchase.
Okay.
And that's just one example. I mean, like aliases and items as well. When you purchase them, now last for a year, and anytime you update them, they're renewed for another year, or until they sell out. And so, those.
I think I should add on, Dan, is we made the marketplace more feature-rich.
Yep.
We added, the ability to resell. So if you're an offer owner, you can become a wholesaler if you open it up to a reseller market. So you're able to actually create a whitelist of individuals that you want to be able to resell your offers, and then those people come in and simply make a call to the blockchain and say, I want to resell this person's offer. They can actually do that for a commission. That's just one of the features that we added in that would improve the usability. I don't see that it's very usable currently as it stands on mainnet because it.
Oh,
He lost him.
Oh, yeah.
Jared's gone.
Oh, he did.
Looks like his connection finally kicked the bucket.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Okay.
guys, I think also one major issue why people are not using our marketplace, and it's very simple. It's all done through command line. It's like asking someone today to use DOS. It's just not going to happen. I mean, yes, a few developers use it, and that's pretty much where it stands. The Shade wallet is a GUI. It's a visual, adaptation of what the blockchain does right now. So no one really could tell what Syscoin did unless they went directly into the command line. And that's same thing with Bitcoin at the beginning. Bitcoin was it was all done through command. So at the moment that's sort of where Syscoin is, except for small features like aliases, which is a nice feature. But like Dana was saying, that the duration of the alias didn't make sense, with what it was. So we're adapting to what we've learned, and also putting a usable, user-friendly interface to something that's extremely complex.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good to see progress. So could we see? I guess when do we expect to see some big releases now with your platform?
I mean, we're actually targeting We're hoping to have a November 7th release of this to mainnet. That's pending still testing. We do have a few items that we still want to work out before this actually gets to a mainnet release. But this will be in a public beta 3 deployment as of, I think, later tonight. Looking to the other guys on the team, or maybe early tomorrow morning. It's somewhere around there. We're hashing out the few last bugs tonight. We've got still several hours left, So if we get those hashed out and we're able to package up the build, it'll be up on GitHub tonight where we put all the releases.
Very cool. Okay. So I got some questions from the community that I pulled before doing the show. How many, or do you guys own Syscoin? And I guess how much do you own and who manages it?
Own is in the team wallet, or own is in personal holdings, if we have personal holdings.
Okay.
Wait. That was a question, so I could answer your question more clearly.
How many Syscoin do you own? Maybe in Bitcoin value.
Do I own personally?
Yeah, or even the team.
Okay, so the team has about 33 million Syscoin, and that's entirely intended for essentially development. Once we get through a major milestone release, the process we have is, we have an internal process for how the payment amount is determined, and then a certain amount of that fund is removed from the wallet and distributed amongst the members of the team that participated in making sure that release happened. As far as personal Syscoin holdings, yes, I'm heavily invested in Syscoin. I've been working on this for over a year, so yeah, I'm very invested in Syscoin. I'm not going to disclose numbers.
All right. Well, that kind of leads into a part 2 of that question, where I guess who manages the funds, because it seems like I guess that you guys always have a pump on new releases. So they were curious if I guess members of your team were behind that.
Okay.
We haven't artificially done anything as far as pumping. We, any news that came out has made the pump, basically.
Well, and to just provide some further information on that, we don't have any Bitcoin in our war chest, so to speak. We have a bunch of Syscoin. So if you can pump the Syscoin market by selling the Syscoin, then we have not done that type of pump.
Okay. All right.
I think maybe a lot of people checked out the beta and checked out some of the screenshots and saw the amount of work that has been gone in the last little while. Like if you check out the GitHub, you'd see hundreds of commits over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just to improve usability. I mean, the ability to resell, the ability to do whitelists, the ability to encrypt data on the blockchain, store encrypted certificates and transfer those certificates, being able to resell those certificates as offers. These are things that, because of the design decisions that we made, aren't possible on the other platforms without major rework. So I mean, a lot of the things we had to go back and research and figure out, but then we're seeing the fruits of that labor now, and we're seeing all the commits come in all at once, and then maybe perhaps people see that and they value it accordingly, and I think as it becomes publicly accessible, people will see that it's actually that we've been testing for the last few weeks and been bug fixing instead of just releasing and hoping for a pump. We actually want to release something that's usable and doesn't have bugs, right? So we internally keep finding bugs and fixing them, and then I think when it gets out to public, people have a more polished product that is it's not bug free, but I mean it's going to be a lot closer than if traditionally you just release something and hope that it works.
Okay. Well, yeah, it seems like a fair enough answer, I guess. Like the public sees the innovation and they, I guess, want to get on it, and the FOMO just happens, market buys. So about 6 months ago, I see you guys had an interview with SuperNet Radio, and I think that was shortly after you guys kind of joined the SuperNet affiliation, maybe. Can you, I guess, elaborate a little more on your connection with the SuperNet team?
Yeah, I mean, we're part of the SuperNet team is insofar as that we're a core coin in their network, so we are part of their Instadex and part of their multi-gateway wallet, which is also called MGW. That means that if you're using their MGW wallet or Instadex, you can actually transfer Syscoin between two different blockchains. And those two different blockchains, of course, have to be members of their network. They have to be core coins on their network, and they're actually expanding that functionality. I don't want to speak too much to SuperNet functionality because, admittedly, I have not read up enough on this new release that they've been working on, and I know that James was looking for people to help test it, and it may be even in public beta right now, or actually on the mainnet. But I'm not entirely sure as to the deployment status of that. But as far as how we've been working with SuperNet, we also share some PR resources to spread news about things that are going on, both for SuperNet through Syscoin channels and Syscoin news through SuperNet channels.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question, I guess, with the SuperNet is it seems like with their Slack just poking around, there's a lot of developers and resources. So are you guys kind of contributing to it? Do you have some of their developers also helping you with the bug tests or with the improvements and then like doing innovation, I guess, and transferring features between wallets?
We haven't had a chance to do as much of that honestly I would like for us to be able to do because we have a very limited amount of time to contribute to Syscoin right now, because we do have, all of us work full-time jobs, which does have an impact on the amount of time we can contribute to Syscoin. In the time we do have to contribute to Syscoin, especially as we have this major release coming up, as much as we like to leverage the resources that they have, because I totally agree, there's a lot of smart people there, and they have a lot of good ideas as well. We will have to wait until at least Shade is out the door, because we want to. This has been a year in the making, and we really don't want to delay it any further. And we have all the information we need for now to get it out the door, unless we hit some major unforeseen obstacle before in beta 3 testing. So I totally agree with you. We just haven't had a chance to leverage that expertise as much as I would have liked to.
Okay. More questions here.
Can I ask a quick one?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, did you guys look at Eris at all? Industries? I think Eris has an escrow thing going on, don't they? Jesse, you know anything about Eris and escrow?
I don't know much about that.
Okay. Dan, did you check out Eris at all? I think Eris Industries, I don't know what it's called, but the guy Zach that was here, they had something like that, like an escrow thing in the works.
Is it trustless?
I think so. They're pretty on the trustless sort of thing. They're pretty hardcore dudes. Zach's like freaking uber mensch in the freaking let's be decentralized scene. So
how's it spelled?
Eris, E-R-I-S, Eris Industries.
Yeah, I think I got their link here. I'm looking at their site.
It's one of their spin-offs. I can't remember what the frick it's called right now. What's Zach's last name? Let's see if I can find him.
Was it Tendermint?
Tendermint. Yeah, Tendermint. That's right. Look at you. Yeah. Smart.
Okay. Well, yeah. I
just brought it up because, I mean, it's true. The whole escrow thing is an issue. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised somebody hasn't knocked that one off yet. It's kind of like a big thing. That and, what's it called? Oracles. Those are two real big things.
Well, all in due time. Like, geez, even Augur seems like it's going to be a couple more months before we hear much about him, but
yeah.
That's going to be a big release.
What does it say they can do here with Eris? Does it say they can
distributed application platform. Eris is a free software that allows anyone to build their own secure, low-cost, run-anywhere data infrastructure using the blockchain and smart contract technology.
I wonder if that includes what we're talking about. What was it? Escrow.
Anyway, well, it sounds kind of like Ethereum in a way.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, listen, I love Ethereum. I mine it. I love Vitalik. He's a freaking genius. Love where those guys are going. But I just heard, I only mentioned this because I heard Zach talk about escrow specifically. These guys are coming up with a solution. Their website looks pretty good too, actually.
Yeah, well, we just had Tenderman on Salon Talks maybe like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
so if you click down below and check out our channel, then subscribe and take a look for the last episode with Tenderman. You can learn more.
You can learn more.
All right. Jesse, you got any questions?
Yeah, so are you guys switching to the Ethereum code base? Or has there been too much work done on the Bitcoin code base stuff?
Switching to the Ethereum code base in the sense of we will be using the Solidity language to be writing our dApps. I don't know that we need to. A member of our team who's unfortunately wasn't able to make this call today, Sebastian who's Coderboo is his username. People know him as. He's actually the one who's been moving forward with the Ethereum development, working on our token dApp while we finish off the Shade development. And in that development, he's only been writing Solidity so far. And so I don't know that in developing a dApp that you really need to be writing Ethereum core code in terms of does that answer your question?
Yeah.
It's not like with Bitcoin clones, where if you want to add functionality to that clone, you actually have to modify that clone's core code. We're not cloning Ethereum. We're building applications on top of its platform.
And there's definitely a lot of enthusiasm, I guess, from altcoin developers and what they can do with Ethereum. So that's really exciting news. If you guys haven't figured it out, we're extremely bullish on Ethereum.
Yeah.
You think we're not? We're about to invest.
No, I think it's a smart idea. I mean, and there's even like talk. Everybody's talking about it now. But that Vitalik's signing a deal right now or something to pull in some more money into the Ethereum group. It's a big chunk of money, and so it looks like they got more development happening.
Yeah. So the Azure deal too, right? With Microsoft.
That's right. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So there's no steam being lost at all. Right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
No.
And no one's really, that I've seen outside of Augur, and Augur is just an alpha. I've invested in the Augur pre-sale, and I can't wait for it to actually be in more of a public phase, so I can start making my predictions and things like that. But it's one of those things that outside of Augur, I don't know of a lot of other. I haven't had a lot of time to look around. So sorry if it's like all you guys know of a bunch more that I don't know about at all. But I don't know of that many more that have the amount of publicity at least or consumer awareness, I guess you could call it, that Augur has. And I think that in the troll boxes that I may or may not tend to read. A lot of people are, naysaying the fact that developers will ever build anything on top of Ethereum, or this is just a platform and no one's ever going to build on top of it. And people who say that, I hope that they're just those typical trolls that you see in those places, because there's so much potential with the Ethereum platform. It's anybody who thinks otherwise is misinformed.
I agree.
Once people figure out the revenue generation model and how to develop on top of an open public source system, that it will come in waves, because it's kind of like what Augur did. I think that's kind of what we're planning to do. But the important thing to note is that we be supporting both platforms. It's not like we're doing a hard switch over. The front end, the work we're going to do in the middle tiers is going to be our IP, and it should work with either platform. So Ethereum just happens to be an easier to work with platform than what we're using with Bitcoin, because we have to kind of do our own opcodes and twist around the blockchain to do what we want it to do, while with Ethereum it would just be a lot quicker. The only difference really is the turnaround time and new services would be a lot faster with Ethereum. But what we have currently with the decentralized marketplace, it should kind of work with both, and the meat of the work will be on the front end and the middle tier that will allow us to do things like have open cart plugins that will connect your e-commerce website onto the blockchain, and it will do a two-way synchronization to the blockchain. So if you have your things for sale, you can put them on the blockchain and back them up, and also update the blockchain as you add things. So things like that. It's analogous to the platform, but it kind of lets the consumer not care about what's happening behind the scenes, but also leverage the power of the blockchain and not have the costs associated with backups and worry about security and all that stuff. It's all taken care of for you.
I have a question for you guys. Do you have any sort of ability to do promotion for this? Because one of the biggest issues with almost every app or dApp would be, how do you get users?
Promotion in terms of like getting users for, because there's two sides of users to this type of experience. I mean, well, and now I guess with the stuff that was added in recent weeks, there's even more types of users when it comes to encrypted messaging and those types of features. I think that the main users that we would want to be looking at is merchants, and then against those merchants, buyers, right? And to that end, we have started talking with several different merchants who are interested in selling real items on the Syscoin marketplace, since you can now peg offer prices to actual currencies outside of only Syscoin. So you're insulated from any kind of volatility across currencies, both fiat currencies and altcoins. So we have only Bitcoin and Syscoin in terms of altcoins supported right now, but we could have any number of other altcoins supported eventually as well. And it's dynamic so that we're always updating that peg rate as markets fluctuate. And so now that we have those types of features and we're working with these merchants ahead of the Shade release to actually try to get items populated into marketplaces, and then have those marketplaces, they're already available through the wallet by just the Shade work that's been done, but also getting what we call block market. It's simply, all it is a marketplace implementation running in the browser using the wallet APIs. Having that running in the browser, so merchants now have two places for people to buy their items, and regardless of jurisdictional laws in some places, if a website gets taken down that's selling those items just because someone doesn't like what's being sold on that website, that doesn't stop anything from being sold. And that's really the beauty of the decentralized implementation that Syscoin brings to the table. As long as there's a node running, those items are available for sale.
Okay.
We should distinguish between the different implementations. Like, I believe OpenBazaar is P2P based, so it doesn't store on the blockchain. So if you're offering something for sale, you gotta kind of keep pinging the network to make sure your offer is for sale. But if you go away for say 2 days, then whatever you have for sale kind of goes obsolete. Like you gotta reinstantiate your offer. Unless they changed something recently, I believe that's how it worked. So you can't really do offline sales. That's why we kind of decided to put everything on the blockchain, but make sure that you're not bloating the blockchain with a huge amount of data. We make sure that it's kind of as small as possible and streamline it so that it's you're not storing megabytes and megabytes of images and stuff, but just the essential text that you need, and comes with the security of the blockchain without having to worry about how often do you have to tell the network that you're still selling this bike or whatever, without having to worry about is it going to be discarded? Are my messages going to go through the ether if I go away for a couple weeks and have to worry about my computer that's running at home, kind of thing.
Yeah, it seems like OpenBazaar, I think you're just hosting your own store.
Yeah, so I sell stuff online through Amazon mostly. So I would need to set up a node to sell stuff through Shade?
No.
And have a computer running 24/7?
Not on Shade.
Not
On
on Shade.
OpenBazaar, sort of, but on Shade, you just need to open your wallet, put your offer in, and wait until someone buys it. You can close your wallet if you want to. That's it.
Yeah, your wallet is a node.
Yeah.
And you don't need your node to be running to sell your item. And so you open up your wallet, yeah, like Sebastian was saying, you list your item for sale, you close your wallet. There's other nodes in the network, running all the time to move the blocks and things like that. And when you come back, if your item is sold, you'll be notified in the wallet, and you'll have more money in your wallet.
Would Shade be kind of like an online wallet, so I wouldn't need to run a node?
No, you don't need to run a node at all.
Yeah.
So you guys have an HTML wallet coming, or a web wallet?
We would like to offer a web wallet. More specifically, I think it would be nice to offer a web wallet in the sense that I think it's New Horizon Coin or something, or NXT possibly as well, offers a web wallet where you get that password that is your password, and you have to use that to always get in. There are other implementations that are actually a hosted wallet service, and we don't want to do a hosted wallet, but if we can deploy a web wallet that makes a lot of these features just as accessible as they are in the current desktop wallet, but in an easier to consume form factor, or a prettier form factor, that's definitely something we'd like to do. As well as really get out a set of, and the way this will probably work out is in a hybrid mobile application for at least Android and iOS, but possibly as well Windows Phone. I'm not sure who uses Windows Phone still, but the bigger the demographic we can target, the better, right? So get a hybrid application out that allows users to access the marketplace and the wallet, just like the wallet and the marketplace are a single experience on the desktop. Access both of those on your mobile device, so that buying and selling is really, ubiquitous. You can do it anywhere you are, really, at that point.
Do you think the technology is there yet, or are we still waiting for an upgrade to the Bitcoin or Ethereum code base to get these mobile wallets like you're talking about?
No, I think it's more really a question of how can we, I'm a big web technology guy. I'm not a C++ person myself. Jag is really our C++ master. But if we can develop a wallet using web technologies, which is why I was saying a hybrid application, because we can just wrap it using a technology like Cordova and deliver it to both Android and iOS. If we can do that, and in that implementation still be talking to some type of locally hosted RPC node on the phone, that would be the way we could do it without having to wait for technologies to. We could do that right now if that implementation is workable. We haven't actually gotten to the point of trying that out. Another alternative to that is, rather than running the node locally, you could have your own hosted wallet service without any real interface for users to type in their username and password and log in and view their balance and all that kind of stuff. But what it would serve as is simply an API for that mobile application on your phone, and it gives you all of the same features we were just talking about, except it hosts your wallet, and that way you don't. It's somewhat more secure since you don't have that UI and it's not kind of blatantly exposed to the public. But at the same time, any smart hacker is going to be able to see where your API requests are going to, and eventually attack that endpoint and possibly get in and empty your wallet, like in the Doge wallets that were.
Let's mute Jag. He's making a little noise on us.
Stop rubbing your mic, Jag.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I got one final question. You guys are right now merge mineable with Script. Do you plan to stay that way, or are you looking at maybe being a Bitcoin sidechain or maybe an Ethereum sidechain?
We talked about if there was any value in possibly even switching to POS as another option. We haven't really discussed sidechains, to be honest with you, as far as the team goes internally. It's certainly something that I think is worth discussing and considering. but I couldn't really give you a good definitive answer on that right now.
Okay. All right. Any closing questions here, guys?
I got one for the PR guy.
Oh yeah. Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
So like, have you been traveling to like conferences and stuff? Or, like, what have you been doing?
No, we haven't been able to get funds to go through conferences or anything like that,
Gotcha, okay.
unfortunately. I'm sorry?
And do you know Lisa? Do you know Lisa Chang yet?
Lisa Chang?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we gotta get him introduced to Lisa.
Okay.
That's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for extra contacts.
Yeah,
I've
it's
gotten
kind of
in touch with various media people, but definitely if one.
Conferences in person. Like, why aren't they online?
Well, some of them are online, but you're right. In person is still a way for people to network. It's a big networking thing, right?
How come I can't like rent one of those little iPads on a Segway and drive around the conference for an hour? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
The telebot.
With like some beers hanging around your neck.
Yeah, maybe. We get punked in an alley pretty quick then.
Yeah, but no, you load your iPad up with a stun gun. Trick or treat.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, unless you got the something to demo for us here, we can.
We do have something to demo for you.
Oh, nice.
Perfect. Yeah, let's see it. Show us the candy.
All right. So again, I'm worried about the resolution here, so let me just hope that this works. If it doesn't, I can try to fiddle with some things to make it work. All right. Give me a second. Let me minimize some things.
While you're doing that, Cam's actually, did Eris or Tendermint have a solution for Escrow?
No. Well, yeah, I would say no.
No? Okay. But they're working on it?
I don't know. I mean, what they do is they hold collateral in the chain, and you could think of that as an escrow, but really it's more of a disincentive system. So
yeah, everyone has to be good, or else everyone loses money.
It's not featured as an escrow, but it kind of is.
So that's the same with
That's interesting.
not the Lightning wallet, but I think it was like Blackcoin did like the Halo system, where it's like, okay, everyone puts up, the value of the item, and then while it's in escrow, everyone has the potential to lose the value of the item, and then finally that value gets transferred after everyone agrees. But yeah, that's an interesting way to do it. It just ties up a lot of capital.
Yep.
All right, here. So I'm gonna turn on my screen share. I'm gonna share my whole screen. It's a little bit wide, so let me know if it's legible when it comes to it.
So she said.
That's what I know. I was thinking the same thing.
It's a little wide and long, so.
All right. Okay, yeah, we're seeing the wallet now.
Should be 2 wallets and then 2 green screens on the far right. If you don't see the green screen, it's not too bad. So you can see all that pretty much?
Yeah, I think we can just kind of read some of the stuff.
Just barely. All right, so this is the this is the Shade wallet. It's pretty similar aesthetically to the existing mainnet wallet right now. You got this classic gray theme. It's timeless. And so inside of this, what we've done is we've added a tab for Marketplace and a tab for Certificates. Now, the Aliases tab is something that everyone's familiar with if you've seen the current wallet on mainnet. And what that does is it allows you to buy what's called an alias. Now, I don't know how much you guys over there at Blocktalk know about the current Syscoin feature, so is it worth me touching on what an alias means, or what do you think?
Yeah, I've heard the alias term before from the guys from IOCoin. It's basically a more legible name for the character address we're all used to seeing.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Well, you should touch on the fact that you can use all the services with an alias, Dan, and you can also send to the alias in the same way you'd be able to send to a normal address.
Right, and I'll be showing some of that as I go through this. But just like Jag said, anywhere, even in the RPC commands that that an address can traditionally be used, you can use an alias, and that's an easy way to do a lot of things. Okay, so we've got this Marketplace tab, and what I've got here is these 2 wallets, and I've got these 2 wallets open and some stuff over here on the right just to show the network is continually moving as I'm doing this. And this is the private CakeNet we use for testing here internally the team. I've listed a few items with the wallet on the left, and then with the wallet on the right, I can go about actually looking up some of these items. Now, again, remember this is a beta, so it's likely that something will break, or as always, when you try to demo things and you think they're working. So if I go through and search for this nothing, it'll basically perform a search for kind of the latest items that have been added to the marketplace. So here you can see that I see the 2 Syscoin shirts, one that's being sold in Canadian dollars, and one's being sold in US dollars, and the Halo 5 cereal being sold by this wallet. The reason that I don't see the Syscoin shirt Canada is because it's still pending. And we got to look into that. There's a reason for that, and that's a bug. So now, if from this wallet I want to purchase, let's say, the Syscoin shirt that's priced in USD, I can right-click on it. I can say Purchase Offer. When I go to purchase this offer, because this offer description has an image in it, that image is automatically displayed in the wallet. I can change the quantity if I'd like. There's a max quantity of 25, so there's all the kinds of protections for. I try to buy 30, and I put in notes like this is my address, and try to accept the offer. And wait, did I overflow that? 25. Accept the offer and pay for the item. Well, that shouldn't work, so that's another bug. We'll address that. So if I go, let me purchase a different item and not buy more than is available. Oh, it looks like only one was subtracted, so that's probably why that worked as it should. So let me purchase it the normal way you would actually purchase it. I'll do quantity 1. I'll do notes as this would normally be my address. Once you accept the offer and pay for the item, let me go over here. You can see that this user is going to, this wallet on the left will be paid, already has, I guess, been paid the 43,000 sys that is the equivalent of what this item is priced in over here and sold. So you can see that $15.99, the equivalent of that in USD is, 43,014 sys. And the way that that value is determined is by this pegging alias that the team controls and is updated by a script that looks at those conversion rates I was referencing earlier. And basically what's contained in here is just a bunch of JSON that represents the various currencies that are supported, the level of precision in decimal places that is supported for those currencies, and how many sys are equivalent to 1 unit of that currency. So over here you can see USD, the rate is 2,690. So when you multiply 2,690 times whatever that item was being sold for, $15.99, you end up with the 43,014 that you see here. And of course, when you look at this also in the marketplace, and you go to the $15.99, you can see that 2 of them have been purchased because that first erroneous purchase that should have overflowed the actual the actual offer only subtracted 1. So when I purchased the second one, 1 was again properly subtracted from the price or quantity. So any questions on just that? That's kind of the basic selling. There's quite a few other things.
Oh, there's a lot to see here. I think I'm gonna have to download this and play with it some more.
That's what she said.
I highly recommend doing that, and we would love to get feedback from anybody and everybody who has time to play with this. We'll have it out, like I was saying, tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, since we've got a few things I would like to kind of iron out. But in that, we post it up to our GitHub repository, and we encourage people to just go ahead and add issues to our GitHub. Please be as descriptive as you can in how we can try to reproduce the issue. Screenshots are really helpful as well, and we take those and we address them immediately as soon as we see them. So, or join our Slack and we have a bugs channel. Just chat some of the bugs or problems that you're having in there, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Yeah, I just joined your channel in the SuperNet Slack, so I'll be ready to fire away some questions after I download it.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's great.
Can I show off? I mean, I don't know how much time we got. I mean, I could. There's a ton of features. There's one I really would like to show that.
Yeah, fire away.
Pretty cool. All right, so in Syscoin Shade, we have this concept of certificates. This is the wallet that I got it thinking. So with certificates, what you can do is you can have both public and private certificates. Private certificates actually use, and Jag, you're going to have to correct me here on the exact encryption used. I know that they use the elliptic keys provided by Syscoin, natively by Syscoin, so no one has to go generate any additional keys or go out and use PGP or anything. But what is it, ECDIS encryption?
ECIS.
ECIS. Okay, so we're using ECIS encryption.
ECIES, sorry.
ECIES, thank you. Learning new things every day.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah, I'll forget it shortly.
You don't want the long name.
No, probably not.
Yeah. So we encrypt the data on private certificates. Like if I go to new certificate, in this dialog, you see that I can put some title in, and in the data, I can do whatever I want. It's plain text. If I say private, when I click OK, this will be encrypted using my private key from one of the addresses in the address in my wallet. If I say no, I want it to be public, then it won't be encrypted, and anybody can look at the data. And so a simple example of that is I have, let's see, this one, which is, because I'm the owner, I can see all of the data plain text, of course. If I go and edit the secret phrase, I can see that even though I can see the text, I know it's private because private's here in the data about it. I don't want to change it. And so if I go over here with the other wallet and search for certificates that are currently on the network, I can see secret phrase, and that's encrypted. There's no way for me to see the data. And we also wanted to make sure that, even though it's encrypted in the UI, people may say, oh, well, you can just do that because it's just the user interface. You look at the private flag and show that silly message that says encrypted, but it's not really encrypted. And so what we did was inside of the RPC commands, which are available in pretty much all Bitcoin-based clients, you can run this command certinfo, which is specific to Syscoin, and if you put in these certificates GUID, you can actually see. Jag, did you revert that change? You must have.
Did I?
Yeah.
Anyway, Jaguar.
If Jag, the Jaguar.
That was too fast.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
He was just ripping through that code, tearing out my changes.
Yeah, he's moving fast, like it's a cat.
That's to show the raw data.
Yeah, but previously you would actually see, instead of only in this view, you would see the actual raw data that proves that it's actually encrypted. And you can try as much as you want to try and decrypt that stuff, but unless you've got just like a giant server farm somewhere ready to crunch away on that for a few years, you probably won't get anywhere. And so what's neat about this is, so we've got these certificates, right? You can have public certificates, which anybody can read. You can have private certificates. So here's one of my public certificates, ability to resell for a discount. Anybody can read that. Certificates, just by the virtue of the fact that you can encrypt the data within them, they can be used as a messaging mechanism, right? So, for example, I'm going to take this encrypted certificate and transfer it. Oh, wait, I don't own that one. I own it over here. I'm going to take this encrypted certificate, which I can't read right now in the client on the right, and I'm going to transfer it to the client on the right. And in order to transfer it, you need to pass the current owner of the certificate your full public key. That's available by some RPC commands. We wanted to make it easier for people. So if you go to, and we need to make this experience a little better, but you basically need to go and grab one of your addresses, and then say get public key, enter your public address. It gets copied to your clipboard. You send that to your buddy. They put the public key in. They say OK. there's a fee for all of these services, and every time a service is used, a small amount of Syscoin used for that service is actually burned, and so the active supply of Syscoin is being decreased, while it's sort of being increased as well through mining.
Why would you do that? Doesn't Ripple do this? Ripple do that? Ripple does that, right?
Ripple does that. Namecoin does it. We initially wanted to be able to regenerate the fees for miners, but we ran into a number of issues with that approach, and eventually had to step back from that approach, even though that's what we would have preferred. So anyway, I transfer the certificate from the user on the left to the user on the right. Now remember, previously this secret phrase certificate could not be read by the user on the right. If I go to my certificates here, I now have secret phrase, and I can read it. If I search for it on the user on the right, I can now read it here too. Search for it on the user on the left, and unfortunately it's encrypted because they can't read it anymore. So that can be used for encrypted messaging just by virtue of transferring certificates between two users who want to use certificates like an email. So I think that's a really valuable feature.
Digital downloads as well, or any password encrypted file.
I'm getting to that one. That's one next. But just certificates and transferring them back and forth, that's like encrypted messaging essentially. Then the feature that Jag was referencing, digital downloads, is you create a certificate. So another use is you can have these items for sale. So for example, this guy's got some items for sale in his marketplace, like these shirts. If he wants to, and then this user goes in and searches for the items that are for sale, they see that one of these shirts is for sale. If they want to go try to resell that shirt, they can try to sell it for, let's say, $15. Or there's this concept to offers called exclusive reselling, and by default it's on, so that no one can just take your item and resell it without your knowledge. What you have to do is either turn it off explicitly or add a certificate to the whitelist of the offer and then transfer that certificate to the party or parties that you want to be able to resell your item. So right now, since the user on the right doesn't actually have any certificates that would allow them to resell, what I would have to do is first over here, so I've got a resell certificate over here. I'm going to go into my current items that I have for sale, and one of them that I have that is in exclusive resale mode, there's only one available, and what I'm going to do is manage the whitelist, and in this whitelist I will add the resale certificate. And what I'm going to do, because I like this guy, I'm going to give him a 50% discount.
Huh.
Alright, so now that new whitelist entry has been added successfully, and after it's confirmed, he will be able to actually resell that offer, but not until I transfer him that certificate that I added to the whitelist. So while I'm waiting for that to confirm, I'm going to take the certificate over here and transfer it to my friend who I want to be able to resell. Now this is a public certificate, and you can see that I'm being prompted for his public key again. That's another one of those issues that we're going to work out before this goes into public beta 3. Go over tickets here. I need to grab the receive address, certificate public key. Alright, I'm going to transfer it to the user on the right. Alright, now once the user on the right receives, okay, so I've got the resale cert. Now right now the network is moving really fast, so that's good. And things are getting confirmed faster than they normally would. What I'm going to do is now with the user on the right, I can search in the marketplace and resell this Syscoin shirt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to resell it for 0 commission. Another shirt, this time it's being resold. Say OK. I'm actually going to be allowed to sell it if the root seller, let's call them, didn't transfer me the certificate that he had added to the whitelist for that offer, I would not be able to resell that offer. Or if he had given it to me and then I had transferred it to someone else, I would no longer be able to resell that offer. And you can also sell certificates, which I'll demonstrate here as kind of the last little thing before wrap up the demo. All right, so I'm waiting for the certificate to arrive. So I've got the resale certificate. I've created a resale offer. If you look at what I'm selling, I have a Syscoin shirt, another shirt being resold. The price is only 10 though. And so now if, let's say, the root buyer goes, or actually let me see, I don't want to buy it through CLI. Let's go here, and the resell I will purchase. And I'm just going to say buying item. Now in these buyer notes, what would normally go here is the address being shipped to. And because that data would be plain text on the blockchain, we've also encrypted that using the public key of the merchant. So only the merchant can read that data now, which is another kind of nice security feature. So I'm going to accept the offer, pay for the item. And now what happens is not only will the root seller receive half of the payment, but also the reseller will receive half of the payment.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Way beyond many of the altcoin wallets I've been seeing. Like you guys have just to take, you know, the QT wallet and change some of the names and titles on it. There's definitely a lot of framework here. I can tell it maybe needs a little more of a polish, but you guys have done a lot of work here. There's a lot of innovation. Yeah.
If I can just say that we had one of the dudes from BitShares in recently last week. Yeah, and it was Max Wright. And BitShares 2.0 is going to be very interesting. It's kind of on the same wavelength what you're talking about with like passing the value down the supply chain. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you might want to look into the BitShares 2.0 it's different than yours, of course, but it's just an interesting thing to check out other people's models that are like on the same wavelength. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Jag knows a lot about BitShares. I mean, Jag, you wanna?
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was a delegate for the initial BitShares blockchain, and I developed a lot of the plugins that were needed, similar to BitPay's Bitcoin plugins, and that's where I got the idea with a lot of this marketplace direction and how we can actually create plugins and synchronize them up on the blockchain. So for example, these offers that you see, we can actually link them up to an e-commerce plugin. That would allow anyone with a website to be able to host their website right on the blockchain.
That's what BitShares is totally on that same tip. That's so interesting.
Well, with BitShares, I created the plugins, but there's no actual decentralized marketplace model. It's more a decentralized exchange, as well as user-issued assets. So it kind of is a backbone that you'd use, but you'd have to build on top of it. The marketplace itself, maybe a sidechain somehow, and then you use atomic transactions to communicate. But it's the whole marketplace idea. I was thinking Syscoin would be able to somehow integrate inside of BitShares using the BitShares payment model, because BitShares offers the user the market-pegged assets that peg to fiat values and stuff, which is very interesting. And I find that model to be better than any other pegged assets that I see out there. I think Nubits has one, and Ethereum is developing one, but it's tried and tested. It seems it works fairly well. There's a 10% ban, upper and lower, that you can't sell or buy above, and it seems to work. It hasn't had a black swan in over a year and a half that it was put into production. So I would see a coordination between the two projects once we have something that's usable and demoable, and it's almost there. Just a few bugs left, I think.
Yeah.
So just one final question here, I guess, as we kind of wrap up.
One more thing. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I'm so excited about all this stuff we jammed in here. Can I show you one more demo thing?
Okay. Yep.
Sorry.
What are you gonna show us?
It better knock our socks off.
It's all teed up here, so it should be just 2 seconds. Okay.
Better not be pornography. This is a PG show.
Yeah, we don't want to be taken off of YouTube.
Oh, no, wrong window. Hold on. No, all right. So what I've got queued up here is a quick example of like how someone could sell a digital asset with full confidence that they'll receive the the asset on the other side of that transaction. Because a lot of people have raised concerns with, oh, we need escrow so you can make sure that my purchase is secured, and we're working on possibly getting that in. I'm not, no promises. But one way that we've tried to mitigate some of that is through certificates, digital certificates in the Syscoin construct, linked to offers that are automatically delivered when the offer is accepted. So right here, I've got an example where the wallet on the left contains a certificate that has an example Halo 5 serial key. I don't know if Halo 5 even uses serial keys, but and the key is, this is a key, right? And if you look at that, if you try to find that through the wallet on the right, you can see that it's encrypted because it is a private certificate. Now, if you go to the marketplace in the wallet on the right, you can also see that the Halo 5 serial key is for sale, and they want $65 USD for it. And so I can purchase it here through the wallet on the right. And when I purchase it, after the transaction is completed, and let's pull up transaction lists on both, once there's one confirmation, you'll see another set of transactions where the certificate is actually transferred to me. I think that it needs to fully confirm before the certificate will transfer.
Well, that's really cool, yeah, especially with like the advent of, I guess, codes being used more often with gift cards or online purchases and everything like that.
Yeah, and let's see. So for some reason the certificate did not transfer. So that was a bad demo, but that's how it works. There's bugs we're working out that we'll get out before the beta 3. But that's another feature that's coming in shape.
Cool. All right. So my final question, and this one is the most important. Where are our free hats? I got a lot of guys that are wondering where their Syscoin free hats are.
Really? Really?
Apparently they were promised free hats and they were never given them. So,
people really want those hats, don't they? I mean, the free hats aren't coming. I'll just give it to them straight. The hats aren't coming, and if you're looking for where those hats are, you can ask our shippers from the team, Mike and John, who actually run a business doing labeled shipping to various countries. They do mugs and stickers and all this kind of stuff. The first round of shipments went out just fine, and the second round of shipments had a bunch of metal hard wallets in them, which I don't know why that would cause any problems. It was shipping from the UK, and it was a pallet shipment. And honestly, it was just a failing at that level to capture enough information about the shipment so that they had proper recourse to go chase it down after it clearly went missing.
Whoa.
And the information that I was provided is, because I was not involved personally in shipping those items, I'm largely just getting information from, Mike and John, who are in the UK.
The hard wallets have Syscoin on them, or were they empty?
They were empty, and what we were hoping is that when people received them, they could go to a site to easily load them up. But luckily they were empty. But what they were surmising is that because there were so many small little metal pieces throughout the pallet, that's why it got stopped. But still, I would think that the original shipper would be notified or something. I've shipped lots of things in my life, and I've been able to account for pretty much all of them, so all I can do is apologize and say that, we missed out on our hats too.
All right. Well, barring that and looking at the chart and the value of Syscoin, I've seen a couple guys actually tweeting today at the level that we're at, and I think Syscoin is a steal if you get it at 100 satoshis. So keep a close eye on this guy. With the Bitcoin price going up, we're going to see another resurgence in altcoins, and I think Sys could very well be on that front edge. You guys have a very passionate team, and you're obviously working very hard and have a lot of developments. So we're excited to have you here. So what we usually do to wrap up our show.
Did you notice what happened while we were talking?
No.
It's we moved back above. We broke another top.
No way.
Yeah, we broke the top, dude.
Not on Hubi.
Oh, well, we did on Bitstamp. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So the American exchanges are finally kind of catching up, it seems. So yeah, I'm sure you guys noticed that the Bitcoin price has been a little bit parabolic.
It happened on on Bitfinex also. Just so you know.
Okay.
See, we have a double top now.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, there's definitely some consolidation going on right now. But Freddie, let's
sorry.
Let's wrap this up with how we do every block talk. We're going to do our Bitcoin price predictions. So how we basically do it is we go around the room and we ask everyone to say what they think the price of Bitcoin will be in a week's time on the next show. So
and we each bet $100.
yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
No.
Canadian or American?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a gap now.
It's a big gap, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I could probably start this since we're clearly on this upward trend here, and China is buying with a fury. I'm gonna say we're gonna hit 400 by next Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, why, Freddie? What do you think it's gonna be at?
I think it's going a bit higher than that. I think it's going to 420.
Really? 420?
All right.
Joint task force. Okay, so I'm gonna say, because I'm actually pessimistic right now. I think it's gonna go to, we're at 331 now. I think we're gonna go back under 300. So I'll say 300.
300.
Yeah, I'm pessimistic right now because I think the hype's gonna blow over on all that economist stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cameron?
I don't know. Do we have to bet? Because I don't want to.
There's no bet.
Yeah, there's no money involved. This is just a hollow bet.
I don't know. Getting into the holiday season, maybe people are going to be selling.
Yeah.
So I'd say somewhere around. You said 300.
I said 300.
Yeah.
305.
305. Oh, it's gonna price it right up.
Yeah. Fucker.
All right.
But it's, he's ever closer. So if it's below,
Yeah.
I'm confused because I'm looking at my Canadian Bitcoin price. It's like 430.
Yeah, but we're using American off of what, Bitfinex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, Dan.
I'm kind of split. I'm positive on Bitcoin right now. I think it's starting to go into that more like long-term uptrend that it's been due for a while. And so I'm going to go for 360 by next Friday.
That's good.
360. All right. The Jaguar.
The Jag.
Yeah, I'd say it's gonna blow up like quite a bit. I think it might hit over 400, but I think by you might see a retrace to around 350 and level off before it starts going up again, if it is going up. But I think 350 should be pretty good. At least 350. I like Dan's as well. 350, 360 around there.
All right. Cool. So
That's pretty cool, yeah.
finally we have Sebastian.
Yeah, I was thinking actually 350 exactly. We all have the same similar.
It's a prediction market.
Yeah. It's only a week, right? So.
Well, we've only had it once in the history of the show where we've broken out of the band of guesses by the by our panel. So I feel like with the show we get a pretty good feel of what the price could be. But there's just such a spread this week. We have over $100 spread.
Yeah, dude. That's why I'm a bit sorry.
To play the bands.
Yeah. So Sebastian, sorry, you said 350. You want to be lumped in there with Jag?
Yeah, 350.
Jaguar. All right, cool.
The Jaguar.
All right, so I guess we could probably wrap this up here. We are very happy to have the Syscoin team here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Dan,
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, if you guys have another show, I'll be happy to come by. I'm usually free after 6 or 7 o'clock, but it's just busy today.
Well, you have to make it down here. Maybe next Friday we can do another show. Those of watching at home, if you have a coin project you want to see, comment below or hit us up on block_talk on Twitter, or even join the Jump Up Slack where we're talking and having the conversation going and trying to figure out what we want to talk about next. Yeah. All right, guys. This has been super fun, and let's wrap this up and say so long, and see you in the next 1,000 blocks.
Yeah, all right. Have a great Friday.
Yeah, thanks.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
Did
Take care.
you-